few months ago, I looked at my student loans and I saw 8 separate loans staring right back at me. Not 1, 8. The hardest part was feeling like I had no idea where to start. Every extra payment felt insignificant, every month felt slow, interest was building, and every time I looked at the balance, it honestly felt totally overwhelming. That's when I stopped focusing on the debt itself and started focusing on the map. For example, you are not going to finish a road trip by staring at the destination on GPS or on the map. You finish it by following the next turn. Today, I want to show you what I call the debt map method. This is the exact framework that I'm using to have a debt-free December. And no, I am not debt-free yet. But that is actually why I wanted to make this video, because I know someone out there is also feeling a similar way, whether you have the same, less, or more, because we're doing this together in real time. The biggest mistake I feel like people make, including myself before, was that I was looking at debt as the whole number, the whole 16 grand. For you, you could be looking at 10 grand, 20 grand, maybe even 50 grand, 100 grand, 200 grand, and you immediately just feel defeated. Debt, though, is not one giant number. It is a series of smaller decisions, and we just have to know how to make them. And that's where the debt map comes in. Step number 1 is you have to know your destination. For me, the destination is a debt-free December. Not tomorrow, not someday, not eventually, a specific date. Because goals without deadlines are just wishes, honestly. And you have to ask yourself, what is your debt freedom date? Maybe it's next year, 2 years from now. That is okay. But you have to pick a destination. You're not just gonna drive aimlessly and just hope that you make it. Step number 2, break the debt into landmarks. I'm using the analogy of a road trip because it truly is a map. I stopped looking at the total. For me, that 16 grand, okay, got it, cool. That number's there, but these numbers add up somewhere. Instead, I started looking at each individual loan. For me, I recently in this last month paid off the first loan in full. That was $2,500. For some of you, that's like chump change. For others, that's like everything. For me, it was a little bit in the middle because I like to be someone who stewards my money well, but I know I also got $2,500 just laying around that I can just be like, wee. Paying off that first loan though, it absolutely gave me the motivation, and it just gives you a sense of accomplishment like, wow. It says no due date. It feels incredible. Now, my mind shift goes, there are 7 left, but 7 feels a whole lot different than 8. Step number 3, find extra fuel. This is the part of your life where side income needs to come in. So for me, I am blessed and highly favored by the good Lord that YouTube is a side income. Now, it is not enough to pay my rent. It is not enough to pay anything outside of maybe some gas and groceries, but it's something. And everything matters. YouTube, freelance work, brand deals, selling a skill, anything. What are you good at that you can monetize or add additional income to your pockets because you have a skill or a piece of knowledge that people need, or that you can offer companies and brands, or that you can offer other people that want to get into your field of work or consultations? Like, think about what you could do 1 hour to 2 hours every week that could really change your life if you put some hard work, dedication, and effort behind changing other people's lives through the skill that you acquire. Every single dollar shortens the journey, which is why I'm always advocating for monetizing a skill. You do not have to monetize your entire life. But for me, I have a photo video business, and I have done that for many different businesses and brands. So naturally, YouTube and like content creation, I love it. And so because I love it, I will do it even if I wasn't getting paid a cent from it. Heck, I was doing that all the way up until last year for 15 years. So that just shows you consistency can get you where you want to go. And I'm not even where I want to be, but I'm surely not where I was. So for you, how far have you come where you can think, I can teach kids about this. I can teach adults who want to become certified in this. I can find free certifications online and teach others about this. I can go into content creation. There are so many avenues you can take to not have just your W-2, or if you're in a contracting job or you have like some income, but it's kind of like not consistent, find multiple ways to get multiple sources of income and tackle that debt. The next shift is the math shift. Most people ask, how much debt do I have? I started asking, how much debt can I eliminate this month? It got to the point where I started just picking what's the lowest loan that I have that I could pay off, and then started looking at, okay, but which one has the highest interest? Because you could have a $700 loan at 2.5%, that's pennies on the dollar, but you can have a $1,500 loan at 5%. Yeah, you need to tackle that because that interest is just gonna cause that number to keep going up. So asking yourself that question and figuring out what that answer is for you will change everything. Step number 4 is to expect detours. You are not going to drive straight from South Carolina to California all the way across the country. You need gas, you need snacks, you need bathroom breaks. Expect delays, expect detours. If you haven't watched it already, I talked about the buffer method in the last video, whether that's car repairs, medical bills, unexpected expenses, life happens. The goal is not perfection. The goal is just simply progress, because the fastest way to quit a debt journey is believing that every setback means failure. So after this video, be sure to check that one out. Step number 5 is to track the wins. This is huge. Most people only track what's left or their reduction or how much it's coming down. Like, that's great. I track what's gone. Celebrate loans paid off, balances reduced, interest avoided, progress made. Even if it's as simple as I had 5 no spend days in a month where I typically spend something every single day. That is a win. Track that. And then create like a cute little marker, get a cute little pink or green marker or blue or yellow, whatever your favorite color is, and just put a little heart or put a little star on your calendar where you can be like, I didn't spend any money this day, which means I am getting that much closer to getting my debt paid off. Motivation truly does grow when you see movement. And the real lesson is that this debt map method, it's not really about debt solely. It is about proving to yourself that you can finish something hard. Every payment is evidence that you are becoming someone who follows through. I wanted to share this because I know how overwhelming debt can feel like. And sometimes like we find all these minutia videos out here where it's like, do this and do that. And like, yeah, that's great. But I just wanted to give you like a quick hitter. Like if you only had like 10 minutes to figure out, can I do this? Let this video be the proof that you can, because you have a roadmap literally in front of you. And there's a lot of other great information out there, but there's also a lot of information that can feel super overwhelming. So I wanted to make this a really quick video so you could be like, all right, I have a plan and I'll figure out how this fits into what season of my life I'm in right now. I also know that every debt-free person was once starting at a number that felt impossible. So you don't need to eliminate everything today, but you do need to make a next turn on the map. And if you stayed until this long in the video, leave this emoji so I know that you're a real one, that you're locked in and you're serious this time about paying that debt down. And if you're trying to pay down debt, but you feel like your paycheck keeps disappearing before you can make any progress, watch this video where I break down the money stack method and how I stopped living paycheck to paycheck to make that easier. And if you're trying to build a financial cushion while paying off debt, watch my buffer method video to get a head start on what that could look like for you. And I'll see y'all on the next episode of Party One Podcast. Peace.